This is a quick start guide for the Excel Skills product costing template. This template can be used to compile product costings for manufactured products based on multiple levels of bills of material. Let's start with a stock code sheet. All the columns with yellow column headings require user input, and the columns with light blue column headings contain formulas and are automatically calculated. So on the stock code sheet, you need to create a unique stock code for every stock item, whether it's a finished product or a raw material. Stock codes should be created with alphanumerical stock codes in column A, and you enter a description in column B, a unit of measure in column C, and then your purchase prices in column D. Column E is for what if stock analysis or costing analysis. So you can run scenarios by including different price increase or decreases in the what if column and analyzing the effect. Okay, so the purchase prices are not required to be entered for manufactured products. So initially, when you record your stock codes, all prices should be entered for your raw material components, and the manufacturing prices should be left blank. If you then look at your product type in column G, this is automatically determined based on whether a bill of material has been added for the particular product to the BOM sheet. So initially, your manufactured products will also be reflected as bought in until you've added the appropriate bill of material to the BOM sheet, which we'll cover after we've completed the sheet. So the product cost is calculated on the BOM sheet based on all the components that are linked to a manufactured product. What if cost is also calculated in the same way, but uses the what if pricing instead of the purchase prices in column D. So the quantity forecast is based on the forecast sheet, quantities that are entered for finished products, and the raw material requirements are then reflected in this column. So it's like a requirements planning feature of the template. So the value forecast is basically the quantity forecast times the purchase prices in column D, and the what if value forecast is the quantity forecast times the what if prices. So columns J to L is for requirements planning purposes, and it's actually the product cost in column H that's the most important column here. So let's go to the BOM sheet. On the BOM sheet, you basically add a bill of material for every manufactured product. So your product stock code will be included in column A and repeated for all raw material stock codes that form part of the bill of material of that product. So that's a parent stock code. Then you'll enter your component stock codes in column B. So these are the components that make up the finished product. For each of those, there's an input quantity and a yield. So to determine your quantity required of that raw material component, the input quantity is divided by the yield. And those 4 columns are the only user input columns on the sheet. All the light blue columns are automatically calculated and contain formulas. So these columns extend automatically when you add entries to the BOM sheet in the table. You can use intermediate products as well. The template accommodates intermediate products. And you can also even add items like labor or overheads to the template by just creating a stock code for the labor or overhead component and assigning a purchase price to the template using a hourly rate or whatever you're using in your costings. So that's how labor and overhead operations can be added to the bill of material. So just to go through the calculated columns quickly, I'm not going into detail. I'm just going to cover the basics. So there's a component type reflecting whether the item has any bill of materials. If it doesn't, it's bought in. Otherwise, it would be manufactured. You've got your bought-in price, which is a purchase price, really. Bought-in cost calculated based on the quantity required times the purchase price for the component. Intermediate component cost and a product cost, that's for intermediate products which have their own bills of material. That gets you to a total product cost, which is added together for the manufactured product. All the components together make up the manufactured product's total cost, which is included on the stock code sheet. And then this section is just the same, but based on the WALIF costing. So that's for your WALIF analysis. And then you have 6 levels of forecast quantities. The template actually accommodates 7 levels of bills of material. So the BOM sheet is where the links between your components and your finished products are established, and it's where all the costing calculations occur. Let's look at the costing sheet next. So the costing sheet will give you a detailed analysis of a product's cost. So all the components that make up the manufactured product. The only user input required on this sheet is just selecting a product code. So you'll select the manufactured product code and you'll see all the components that have been linked to that product on the BOM sheet and their cost calculations. It gives you the total cost at the top, a WALIF cost as well, and a variance. So the forecast sheet, that's used for the requirements planning. So you would add the stock codes of all the manufactured products that you want to determine requirements for to the sheet in column A. And then the quantity of that stock codes should be added to column E. Column B to D contain formulas and will automatically extend when you add stock codes to the table. This is also just a date prepared. So you can run a requirements planning for multiple products or one product at a time by just entering the required quantity here and then going to your stock code sheet and having a look at your quantity forecast for all your components. And that will also give you the value. And there's a what-if value as well. Okay, so let's look at the margin sheet next. The margin sheet enables you to enter selling prices for your manufactured products, and you can then analyze the costs and gross profit margins of the products, and it also facilitates measuring your what-if costs. So your what-if cost calculations are included, what-if profit, gross profit, what-if selling price to give you the same level of profitability as what you would have on your main product, and then what your difference in selling price would be between your what-if price and your current selling price. So all the light blue columns contain formulas, and it's only the yellow columns that you need to enter data into. So column A is for your stock codes, and your selling prices go into column E. Okay, so that's a margin analysis on the margin sheet. If you need more information about the template, please review the detailed instructions where we cover all aspects of the template. If you if you visit our support section of our YouTube channel, that's where we post videos based on user feedback.